So high I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Dangerous times, don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world, but keep the sky on your mind.
Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to a late night edition of Flying with Mike. Thought I'd try to get one in. I was going to try to do this earlier, but got hung up, as always. And, well, why not now? So we'll catch you all here in the late night hours, catching some in the Far East, maybe some of you in Europe. Although 3 o'clock in the morning for most of you, I doubt it. But you know, hey, who knows? But folks, we're going to fly out of Andrews. Oh, just forget the email that went out. I just realized what it said. And realized that's tomorrow. You just got a scoop. So that is tomorrow's flight. There could be more, but right now that's what I can definitely commit to. So we'll give you that little tease out. Those of you who follow and take the notifications, you now have an edge on everyone else. Welcome aboard, folks. We're going to fly for Simulated Air Force tonight, otherwise known as Sim Air Force, from Joint Base Andrews to Scott Air Force Base. About 3 miles, 4 miles, 5 miles, just north and slightly to the west of us. And you've got the route there, so I hope y'all enjoy. We're going to go ahead, get up in the aircraft. This is as close to a C-40 in X-plane we can get for the moment. It's a 737-800. We don't have a 737-700, sad to say, but of all the 800s out here, ZIBO is the best. See you after the break. Coolades, welcome in, sir. Hope you're enjoying the night. I'm not sure if we actually did go into a break, so I am going to proceed as with, well, you know, it helps if I, hang on. I'm not good at multitasking. There we go. All right, so, well, appears we didn't go to the break. That's why you gotta love live, folks. It says you are, but then you don't. So let's get Sim Toolkit up here. And that I know came up and we'll get this pre-briefed and get going. Try to make this a quick night. It's about a 2-hour flight from the East Coast to St. Louis. That's where Scott Air Force Base generally located. All right, folks, so real quick, the loadout for today. Okay, they took a little bit of my hint, 50 people. We're going to take off on one left. As of right now, land 3-2 right. You know, I may switch that. KBLV just subscribed with a Prime subscription.
Just subscribed with Prime.
Let her. Oh, I thought she had more to say. Welcome in, KBLV. Thank you so much. We appreciate the subscription and look forward to seeing you on future flights. Like tomorrow's, if you didn't get the email, there's a hint out there if you did. So what tomorrow will bring. Tomorrow. Oh, wait, this is tonight, so let's deal with tonight. 50 people. We're going to take off one left. I'm thinking 3-2 left, the Scott Air Force Base side, not 3-2 right. That's what I'm thinking tonight. So we're going to be flying to Lincoln 1 departure to OTTO, Q68 to Charleston, West Virginia, to the J78 to Louisville, J8 to ELIOE, to Centralia, Echo November Lima, and then fly in on the Echo November Lima to arrival. Military Transcom, actually this might be AMC, graciously gave us 53 on the cost index tonight, and wow, they're going to let us fly up above at 40,000. I might have to watch out for a nosebleed. Oh my goodness. All right, so here we go, folks, with the weather. Tonight's not looking too bad. Looking here at the METAR, you can look up here for a lot of the translation. Winds are 330 at 10, so you can see why one left. It's clear skies, 10 miles visibility, and 24 degrees, so we might need to bungle. What program is this, sir? Why, it's XP12. Give you the full rundown. XP12 version 1.0, and we are in the beta 6. So all right, so so here you go. It's 24 degrees outside, so we'll kind of bundle up for the trip. Just kidding, it's actually 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Funny story that goes with that, but yeah, we'll save it for a longer flight. Anyway, today at Scott Air Force Base, Mid-America Airport, calm winds, 10 miles visibility. It's clear here. Hang on, I'm going to have to write this down. We have been cloudy, rainy for so much since April. To see 10 miles clear, I got to write that one down. 2989 on the altimeter. So beautiful night here. Also 24 degrees right now. So, you know, bundling up will help us get in a lot better. All right, so let's go fly with Mike. Hang on, just going to put this out there on VATSIM. Now, if you all are interested, we are flying with Simulated Air Force tonight, U.S. Air Force. Bear with me a second, 258, that'll work. I'm just getting a flight plan put together for them. One of the things about flying for Simulated Air Force. Oops, that's definitely wrong. There we go. 75. Go with RCH. And, ooh, I got some things to change on that aircraft profile. All right. So when you fly for Sim Air Force, folks, we're going to kind of do this, and bear with me, folks. I'm multitasking. That could be scary. We're going to actually try to get the plane going at the same time so we can get rolling. Oops, hang on a second. Forgot to take something down. There we go. Now we can take Sim Air Force or Sim Toolkit down. One of the big things with simulated Air Force, you have to fly on VATSIM. They are a virtual special operations group, allowing them to do air refueling, getting into, where you're not supposed to be. You're supposed to fly like everyone else out there, minus the military. Okay. To fly what they call MARSA, military assumes responsibility for separation. You have to be a part of a special operations group, like virtual U.S. Air Force, German Air Forces. I know there's another one over NATO, I think it is. Sim Air Force is one of those. And they have to prove they are VATSIM members. So on top of other things. So the requirement is you fly all your flights on VATSIM. So that's a bummer. Now, here's a caveat. They do have fighter squadrons. They do have a bomber squadron, but I don't know if we're manned right now. So digital combat sim is a possibility if you're into that. That does not go against anything of VATSIM because you're not on VATSIM over there. You're in your own multiplayer world. So that's where that delineates. However, when you fly on VATSIM, which we do to and from campaigns, or like me, I just fly coast to coast worldwide with Sim Air Force, doing a lot of their charter, AMC work, Air Mobility Command. If I do C-130 lape dropping or air dropping or anything like that, I have to assume separation. So I have to be a part of a VSO. So long story short, that's the reasoning. They have other rules. It is just flown a lot like a military outfit. So, there's going to be rules and regulations. They try to keep them to a minimum. So I just saw it come up there, folks. Check them out. Always check every airline I recommend out. Some will be a massively good fit, some won't. And you're not going to break my heart if you don't join them, folks. But I put it out there, one for them and one for you to be able to join. So they can see, hey, it's getting out to people now, whether they want to take that next step. That's on you. So, all right, so enough chit chat. Let's get going here, folks. And shame on, dang it, I did it again, folks. I forgot to get my checklist. Got everything else up and ready to go and forgot the most important thing. Bear with me as I set up. Okay, so again, it's your call if you'd like to join Sim Air Force. Folks, I'd love to have you. I'm part of, like I said, Air Mobility Command, so I fly the cargo planes, mainly C-130, the CRAF, Civil Reserve Air Fleet, and occasionally you'll see me flying C-40s and the E-4, 767, so forth. Okay, so let's get into this thing. Like I said, we're going to kind of rocket fire it. Hopefully I can talk and get the plane ready at the same time. Most of it's kind of in a position to get going. So I want to get my upper part here done. The hardest one to hear. You can barely hear the twiddle-widdle-widdle. Very faint, but it's there. 3 green. Oxygen normal, EECs, engine reversers closed, and okay, oh yeah. Flaps always deploy to 15 for some reason, or 10, I don't know why, but we'll have them back up here in just a jiffy. Okay, we got 7 minutes to alignment. That's why I turned the switch here to heading status. The status tells you how many minutes to align. It also gives you any codes you're instrument. Oh, it was just on my tip of my tongue and it just dropped. Oh well, the IRS display here. Okay, they're both in a line. Go to nav. See where we are on the flaps. They're just about up. And when they do, I'll kick the hydraulic pumps off for them. Now, I'm talking a little softer tonight. We are entertaining our granddaughter, a little 3-month-old, just about, I should say. So, even though my door is closed, I'm still being respectful to keep her quiet. I mean, keep her asleep. Slip of the tongue there, folks. Truly, slip of the tongue. Again, we still try to have some fun here, folks. And we'll hold it there for now. I think I'm pretty close, but I'll double check. All right, so let's start loading this plane. $50 passengers, that looks good. And activate. Now if we go outside the plane, the air stairs there. And we're slowly getting ready to go. We'll start hearing them in the background, getting things up and going. I'm going to turn it up just a smidge. All right, let's get going. Okay, so the IRSs are in nav. Okay, 5 minutes to go. Things looking good. Fuel pumps are off. We're in. Front and rear doors are open. Soon the cargo doors will open and we'll start taking on. We're taking on fuel right now. Uplift for today's flight, folks. 16,642. All right. Okay, everything looks good coming down, looking good, normal, on, normal, set, probe heats off, window heat on, anti-ice, hydraulic pumps, the engines are in the on position, but obviously not running because the engines aren't. The electrics are off. We'll be turning them on shortly. Forward cabin door just opened up. All of this is going on, folks, without me having to do anything. Okay, trim air's on, recirculating valves are auto, isolation valves off, and the APU valve currently for the bleed is off. The engines are on. We set 41,000. Might as well find out real quick. He says airport is 459. That was close, only off by 200 feet. There we go. All right. All right, so we've gotten down to this point. Let's get the IRS warmed up here. And I am going to do one thing up here. Let's move this to plan, pop this up a couple of notches. Okay. What we're going to be doing is getting the inertial navigation system, your FMC, up and running. Okay, first page, make sure everything's good. We're a couple days out from updating our FMCs. And everything else looking good. Okay, we're at Andrews, joint and... Oh, gosh, Lord, I'm putting everything in wrong. Clear and clear. Okay. All right, now that we're past Zulu, so we're an even day, so we'll go with the right side. There we go. Route. and KBLV. All right, now with ZIBO, folks, if you set your SimBrief downloader up to download the ZIBO XML file, I also have it set up to download to the FMC folder under Output FMC, and to various other aircraft too. But what'll happen is when you just did all of this fun over here, that fun will translate to where all you do is push this. Similar to when you just had to remember the file name to type in the company route. Analogous, okay. But it'll also give you the SimBrief wins and performance information. And activate, execute. All right, clear, clear, and ready. All right, so you got your Sim Air Force 18, and we do go by our call signs. Now, we can use other call signs. It's just preferred we go this way. One left's our runway, but we're going to still go in here, firm it up. One left, Lincoln, OTTO. Remember that from our flight plan, folks? If not, here it comes to you in the chat.
Ground flight deck fuel is all loaded up and you are good to go.
Cool. Thanks for giving us some gas here in the free ZIBO mod for X-Plane 12. All right, so we got that in. I still do that, folks, just to make sure it loads, because sometimes it has been found not to load. And I don't know if that's a ZIBO thing or a Flying with Mike issue. I lean usually to the latter. All right, we're going to do a quick look here, and we're going to step through our flight plan on the legs page, make sure everything's good up to Mid-America Airport. You're not seeing anything that I wanted you to see. We're coming out of Andrews. Hang on, this does have a chart. Don't know why it didn't save it. All right, so here we are. We're going to come out, Fillmore, Lincoln, Rebel. Okay, and that's going to take us literally, I think, pretty close to Dulles overhead. Okay, now there's OTTO. And then I'm just going to kind of zoom in here. I think we're going to get them also. Well, we're missing the one right after OTTO. Capo, Hammy, Holes, Ron's, and we can watch it up here on the map. Okay. Where did we get down to? Okay. All right, Tomka, HVQ, Tacos, not to be mistaken for tacos, and then into Louisville. Then Impel, ELIOE, and then we're on the arrival. Okay, and that's where we're going to kind of pick this up with the chart. So what we're going to do, this is for all the runways, 32 left and right, 14 left and right. Okay, we're going to again come in 32. I think we're going to go ahead, shoot the left side. A little more challenge to it, only in the fact it's a couple of thousand feet shorter. Well capable of KC-10s, KC-46s. Okay, I probably just said gibberish to you. KC-10 is the military version of the DC-10-30, and the KC-46 is the latest edition, the 767-200 air refueler, slotted to potentially replace the DC-10s, as well as many of the 135s. So a really interesting plane, folks. You ought to do some invest. If you're a plane geek like I am, check it out. It's a pretty interesting plane. But basically for us, we'll fly Centralia, Hulves, Eckel, Dumpty, and then dump ourselves on to 3-2 left. So to do that, let's go here to the departure arrival page again. Arrival, select 3-2 left. Now we're not going to do these transitions. I'll explain here in a second. We're going to do the ENL and leave it at that. Let me show you why. All right, so ENL, we're going to flip-flop this to 3-2 left. Now, if this arrival was not in conjunction with 3-2 left, it'd tell us and we'd have to make a new one. All right, so we've got an RNAV, we got the ILS. Taking the ILS. And I lost it. There it is. Okay, so here it is. All right. So here's the ENL transition. It's basically just a direct. Actually, that may not be a bad idea. I was just thinking about that. Dumpty's gonna dump us off. Let's see, somewhere in this vicinity. You know, we'll have to think it through in flight. But that's how we're set up right now. So we're going to come in to the ILS. But there, I just wanted to show you, this is what that transition is. Troy would take you up to Troy and bring you in that way. So we definitely don't want to shoot that. So we'll just stick with what we got. Go back to legs. Okay. You just get caught back up. All right, so here's the additions. Let me just go ahead, hit execute. Go back to Centralia. So again, Holvitz, Eichel, Dumpty. Eichel is 7,000. Then we come off and intercept the localizer for 3-2 left. That's the vector to Tibby. Where the heck is Tibby? So we're actually going back. We should come in, they're saying, around the 14 mark. I think we'll be more like the 10. We'll see. And then Bivel and right on in. Everything's looking good. Missed approach. Out to Tibby. And hold. All right. Back to route. Hang on, I'm catching up here. All right, so let's, okay, I'm going to get up here and get that APU fired up. Okay. Now, I have noticed that it's a lot longer delay in getting it started than it used to be. A lot of times, boom, it came right on. And I always turn the left aft tank pump on. Little late on it this time, but still got it. Okay, and then once it settles back down, we'll put the APU on the electrical bus here. And the APU bleed and move this to APU. And then we'll finish up the flight and be ready to go. So when the blue light comes on, the generator is ready for the electrical bus. All right, and now we can come off that bus and that, head over here real quick. Home, ground, GPU disconnect. All right, let's finish up the rest of the inertial setup here. Bear with me, I'm just going to go over to SimBrief, get my performance data real quick, like one left. And our takeoff weight is estimated. Bear with me, it's not as easy as I thought it would be. Okay, 109 decimal 1. Let's make it a simple 110. Okay. All of a sudden, we have a wind. Hang on a second, something changed. 33010. Okay, so we now have. Oh wait, never mind. That's Mid-America Scott that had the calm winds. Okay, so we're expecting 121, 121, 131 at the end of this. And speaking of which, we're going to go take off 2, assumed 54. All right, now you're all wondering, what was I doing behind the scenes? Well, I'm going to leave that as a little homework for you. Go into your SimBrief account, set up a flight, and use the performance and tools. And it'll give you a lot of great information. Or just use what ZIBO gives you, because we may, in the long run, do that. Okay, and load. All right, now there is no executes or anything of that nature here. Hang on. There we go. Sorry, folks. All right, however, we got to figure out our reserve. That I can do right here. Okay, let's see. Alternate, we need alternate today, by the way, is Peoria. So 3 plus 3 is 6.0. And don't mind this just yet that it says using reserve fuel. We're going to actually check it once we're done. We're going to go to 400, execute. And then I leave the rest. The big thing I want to make sure is that's the correct transition altitude. Go to N1. Today is takeoff 254. And basically what you're doing is you're telling the engines, even though you know it's not, it's 54 degrees outside, which will pull power back. Doesn't factor humidity, folks. And it thinks it's taking off on a 54-degree day, low humidity. Power and giving you enough power to get in the air, enough power to climb, and enough power, well, from then on, you're in cruise, so. All right, click your CG and takeoff. Now, I want you to go to the next page. Bear with me. Currently, the winds are 330 at 10. That's a pretty easy. A lot of guys and gals don't go here. I don't know if because they think it's just too complicated, but it really isn't. SimBrief gave it to you. Not sure where. Oh, here it is. I was like, I'm not sure where. All right, so winds. They've got 340. I'll go with what we got. I'm not going to change it. The up 0.2. So here's where they get hung. How do you put that in there? It's a U 0.2 slash runway heading. Now they're not, well, they do give it to you down here on the chart. click. We know we're on a dry runway, correct? Unless it changed. Yeah, dry. Okay, so that's how simple that page was. Now this also told us we're going to leave with a flap setting at 5. And again, the information we put in, 85.8, showing up here for the engines. Just make sure if they're showing that. I doubt it. Okay, and trim 5.5, we'll get that. But they're going 129, 129, 132, which is fast or higher speeds. I'm going to use theirs and then turn the QRH off. Again, this is, you're the pilot in command, you make the calls. All right, and that, folks, gets us all set up. First thing, bring this back and down. And let's go, folks. We are doing pretty good here. We're going to make our time out. As long as I don't get into a rabbit hole. And they love to pop up on me. All right, so we said 010. Okay, speed-wise, 132, we'll go 142. V2 plus 10 is how I fly. Okay, flight director's on. All right, now for the altitude. This is actually more simple than most people want to give it. Go to your approach chart. Or departure chart, my bad. It's 3,000 feet here, folks. So I will set that. Now tomorrow, for those that know already what we're doing, that may be a little different. Okay, bear with us. You'll learn. Some aircraft, you got to be... Whoa, what just happened here? Okay. Let me just make sure. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and come up on FatSim right now. Okay, now what just came in, since there's no ATC, they're giving us a squawk code. We'll get that in a second. All right. All right, so we'll set 3,000 and we'll keep the auto throttle off for now. Flight directors are on. The only other thing I like to set now is my minimums. Actually, let's do my altimeter since that's what I was just moving. We're showing 2965. Kind of low. And per the Airman Information Manual, folks, the real pilots use, it's recommended 400 feet or higher before you begin a turn, unless your instrument departure says otherwise. Also, make sure they also include clear of the runway so you're off the edge, so forth. The departure end. Well, looky Coco Canola 13, welcome in, sir. Hope tonight is going well, and it looks like it is. Welcome in, sir. Sorry, I'm a little delayed on that. Actually, no, I'm only a minute behind. Sorry. Here, we're going to be making that quick turn to Fillmore, as you see. All right, let's go, folks. I'm ready to fly. Real quick check. 3 green, gears down. Coming down. Spoilers are up. spoilers are down, flaps are up, and configuration check complete and failed. Fuel switches down, and we are in VAT USA territory. So before we go further, let me get that altimeter or squawk code in. 3, I think it's 555. 555. Okay, we'll go to altitude on for now. All right, now we are in CTAF territory. So, and what do I mean by that? I'll tell you in a second. But what you do is just in the whatever you connect to VATSIM with, go into the chat box there, type .ctaf. Phonetically, that's Charlie Tango Alpha Fox, and then your airport code. Kilo Alpha Delta Whiskey here. And it is, you got to do it in messages. I do that all the time. Doggone it. Charlie Tango Alpha Fox, Kilo Alpha Delta Whiskey. You got to do it in message. Don't do it in the auto. It doesn't allow you to reply. Okay, so, and I need to do this too. If I don't put the box up there, you won't hear the ATC. Also, make sure you see text or transmit and receive bold on your whatever comm you're using. If not, go in, make sure your microphone's on, your speaker's on. And by the way, you can turn them up and down. Your speaker for VATSIM. Or for anything, come to think of it. So, all right, so we said 118. Oh. Boom. Now we're on common traffic. All right, we're ready to go, folks. We're on VATSIM. We're almost ready to go for almost forgot. Just about forgot ACARS. And that is another benefit with Simulated Air Force, folks. We do have a digital way to record our flights instead of all the different times and all. Now, with some of the missions we'll fly, sometimes recording those manually help. In this case, not a problem. And the hardest part of all of this, folks, is just finding I actually found it pretty quick. Sometimes it takes a little bit to find the aircraft. What am I in? Oh, I'm in performance. Okay. All right, and we'll go ahead and get that started. There we go, folks. That means we're on the map, or will be here shortly. Okay, we'll check back here before we get going. All right, we're ready to go, folks. I hope you are. Let's proceed into landing gear thrust Engine start levers cut off, and we are parking brake set. And oh yeah, yaw dampers.
Slide slow. Pull up. Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear. Terrain. Terrain. Pull up. Obstacle. Obstacle. Pull up. Airspeed low.
All right, and that is our CWS check. Our GPWS, sorry. All right, let's get this thing fired up. Big things here, folks. Make sure the passengers are all on board. They are indeed. All the doors appear closed.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, welcome on board our flight today. We're wrapping up the final paperwork here to get your I want to thank you so much for your company and business. We invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Again, welcome aboard.
Sorry about that. Jumped the gun. Let's get her started. Let me look outside. Always like to make sure everything did indeed close. Okay, and here we go. Got to make sure you turn off system or okay. Need to make sure system B electronic hydraulic pump is on. It just got turned on. And fuel pumps, make sure they're turned on. Anti-collision lights on. Auto throttle, we will not arm until started. Let's start up number 1. And what we're going to do here is wait for it to reach 17%, no higher than 25%. Okay, fuel to idle. There's our fuel flow starting. Oil pressure's coming up. So we're good there. And just waiting for it to throttle up. Again, hope y'all are having a great night, great Sunday night. Hope it's been a wonderful day. And we're headed back, technically for this plane, one of its homes. Okay. And we're stable. Ranking up number 2. Looks like a good start. All right, let's get the chocks out from the nose gear. Okay, a few more checks and we're out of here. Okay, all right, so the gens are on. Let's make sure we set, okay. A hydraulic system is now on with the electrics, as well as the other 2. Pitot heat's on. And any ice not required. Left and right packs can. And isolation APU valve I've already closed. We're off the generator. Closing. Okay, final checks here, folks. Engine switches to continues. auto brake RTO, flaps 5. ETC basically saying make sure we set to Terra. Now, one thing, folks, as long as ATC can see that you're mode C, they have no idea if you're in Terra or not. Just so you're aware of that. Now, you will know because you won't see traffic here. So, when they tell you, and you go, I still don't see it. Well, you're on it. All right, so you're ready for taxi. Set our trim. I don't like this because it doesn't tell me what it is. Airbus and McDonnell Douglas at least does. And by that I mean it actually tells you what you're set at. Here you kind of guesstimate in between lines. Okay, we're ready to taxi. Andrews Joint Base Andrews Common Traffic, Sim Air Force 18, taxi to runway 1 left. How about that? An on-time departure, folks. Write that one down. An on-time departure here. The generals in back will be happy. All right, I'm gonna show a few things off while we're taxiing. One, this is default. I don't even know of any scenery for Andrews, to be totally honest. Hang on a second. Trying to make this a little more easy for me to go from screen to screen like I need to. And so is Mid-America. I don't know of many military scenery setups in the X-plane world, let alone any other world. Tomorrow's flight, I don't really have a start time set up yet because I really don't know what's gonna all happen. We got to make a couple of phone calls, and I don't know where those will lead. So that's why there's no actual start time. We're guesstimating a 1 o'clock start, but folks, it could go early, it could go late. And it's a possibility of may not. So, all right, we're ready to go. Joint Base Andrews traffic, Sim Air Force 18 departing 1 left. Now, if ATC comes up, folks, they get the call then. Otherwise, you're on Joint Common Traffic Advisory. Okay, auto throttle to on.
is secured. Have a good flight.
Okay, we're stable. Now the toga switch is actually the mic. Airspeed's alive.
E1. Positive rate. $400. $1,000.
Washington, D.C., folks.
$1,000 to go.
Keep forgetting it's 40 today. Okay, let me get back over to Unicom. We're clear of the common traffic. All right, so we're on our way up, folks. 3 minutes into the flight. All right, we're showing about 2 hours to our destination. That'll come down as we grab altitude. But folks, we're on our way up. We're just about through 10,000 feet, so we'll turn the lights off. And as you saw, we put the lighting into sleep mode so the passengers could get some rest. All right, I hope y'all enjoy the ride. Thank you so much for coming out late tonight and being a part of Flying with Mike. And we'll get some tunes rolling for ourselves. See how that's playing in the background here in a minute. All right, and we are about through transition, folks. So we're on our way to Scott Air Force Base. Few pesky clouds to deal with out here, but overall, not a bad ride. At least point of departure, point of arrival. All right, folks, we're back with you. Had to go grab a glass of water, kiss the wife goodnight, and a little grandbaby. Soon to be 3 months old here. Wow. Amazing. 2 of them, actually. 6 weeks apart. Oh, I'm sorry, 6 days apart. My bad. Just amazing. Plus, we have a 3-year-old granddaughter on top of that. So, I mean, life has just been a blessing after blessing. So, today's verse that I've got up there, folks. Yeah, it's a long one. But I think it says it puts life in perspective pretty well as a Christian. So, and I'll be honest, my favorite part is the very first, verse 7. But we have this treasure in jars of clay to show that the surpassing power belongs to God and not to us. Now, I know I don't break it down verse by verse in there, so you know where verse 8, verse 9, verse 10 start. But that is the verse 7. And I actually thought that would be a good verse, but it's kind of complicated. What is this treasure, or what is this jars of clay that our treasure is in? Anyone out there have a speculation? That's right, you, me. We're a jar of clay, folks. God made us from the dust of the earth, as we will, when we die, return dust to dust. And another version of this, the New International, basically says the same thing but includes this word. But we have this treasure in jars of clay. That part stayed the same, to show that this surpassing power belongs to God and not to us. Folks, we don't do anything on our own. God does it. God through us allows us to do great things. So, we just, if you will, get to come along to ride. You know how many love to say, well, God or Jesus or, whatever they want to affiliate is my co-pilot. That's actually a wrong statement, folks. God is captain. If you relegate him to co-pilot, that means you are God. You're telling God what to do. So, this treasure that God has bestowed on us in our jars of clay, our bodies made from the earth, belong to God. So, anyway, the rest of this beautiful passage in 2 Corinthians, just the world, you can put anything in there, folks, that is pressing down on us and trying to afflict us, to crush us, to put us in despair, to forsake us and destroy us. All of those things, folks, the world and everything but God tries to do. But God, but we're not crushed. We get perplexed, but we're not driven into despair. We're not forsaken, folks. We're not destroyed. It's amazing. We have our eyes fixated on Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, part of the God Triad, God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit. We have our eyes fixed on all three. Holy Spirit is inside us, folks. That treasure Jesus gave us, said would come when His glory came to be on Resurrection Sunday. And we look to God for everything, folks. That's why the world can afflict us but can't crush us, can perplex us beyond belief, but not into a state of despair. I can attest to a lot of that, folks, right now, what's going on in my life. But you know what? What's going on in my life pales in comparison to what's going on in some other people's lives. And God is there too, working us through. Now, you on the outside looking in may look, well, yeah, I don't see a change. You're still unemployed. You're still divorced. You're still this. No, folks. No. I'm still with God. No matter what happens in this world, I'm still God's child. I'm still Jesus's child. Jesus is still within me with the Holy Spirit. So, anyway, folks, I hope you all have a great night. And I know I try so hard not to, but this verse, this passage just screamed for me to say something. So, I hope it finds itself well into you, into your jar of clay. And hopefully your work week will be a very blessed and a very good one at that. So, all right, folks, we're on our way here. We are passing Hammy. Oh, but if you've been looking at our time up here, folks, we're already down to an hour and a half. Looking like about midnight Central Daylight Time into Scott Air Force Base. Now, many of you are going, well, the Air Force don't fly that late. Oh, actually, yeah. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. All times of the year. So, and again, folks, we are flying in X-Plane 12, version 1.0 beta 6. So we're working through here to the release candidate for this version that the X-Plane 12 team has got going. I'm looking forward to both version 0.2 and 0.3 to come here soon. Some interesting things. I'll tell you right now, the biggest thing I'm enjoying is the fact that I have a clear sky and no rain. That was just the funniest thing. To be sitting on the ramp, clear skies, 10 miles visibility, not a cloud in the sky, and it's raining on my airplane. So whatever they did, whatever variables and data refs they manipulated, oh, thank you. Thank you. All right, well, this is not, this is a little disconcerting. Again, we're at 40,000 feet with a westerly wind at almost 100 knots. We are in the jet stream, folks. Actually, we shouldn't be, but we are. Wow, 100-knot wind. That should bring back some nightmares to some of those that flew across the pond a few weeks ago. Having to come from Europe to the U.S. with a 100-knot headwind. No worries, folks. The return trip in October, November, whenever they have it slated, that headwind turns to a tailwind and you'll be happy. All right, we do have traffic off the nose. Let's see, who could it be? Well, this is the only one close enough. SWG 653 looks like to be the culprit. Again, folks, remember, on VATSIM, all the controllers need you to be in is on your controller, whatever you connect to VATSIM with. They just want mode C green on your end to know you're in mode C. Beyond that, they don't know if you're in TA, TAR, Terra, TARA, however you want to say it, folks. So just remember that. All right, folks, you can see we're getting about 42 or so frames per second. We're just about through the Appalachians, headed towards Charlottetown, West Virginia, and then on to Louisville. So, nice little flight ahead of us. Traffic is clear, and we're on our way. So I'll just kind of sit here on the side, let you all chill, relax, enjoy your Sunday evening. And thank you for being a part of Flying with Mike today. It's my pleasure to always come up here for you. And we're always here to try to keep things on the light side. Like I said, I just felt so moved by the verse we had today that I couldn't sit here. As Jesus once said, the rocks would just burst forth if I was kept quiet. So, oh my goodness. Wow. Hang on a second. I'm going to zoom in. I just looked up here real quick, folks, and saw 333 mile to Ron's. It's not that far. It's just like right there. Time. Oh my goodness. Maybe this wasn't a good idea to come on streaming at this hour. Well, I hope you all enjoy. I came on for you all. I've been asked by several people, including our moderator, Hawker, to try different times. Now, he wants me to get going super early, and I don't know if I can get out of bed now that early, even though, but then that disrupts a lot of stuff I have going on during the day. So I'm one of those creatures of habit. So, so forgive me. Getting a stream started at 5 in the morning is a little difficult. But I hope you all enjoy that we came on today. Maybe we'll try to schedule a couple more. I know summer months are extremely difficult for me to plan. Well, it's as it is for you to plan anything. It's that time of the year where vacations, or as I like to call them, holiday, occurs. You gotta love that word, holiday, occurs. So, and towards the end of the month, we may be real tough to find. My folks are going to be in town, and it's a big thing. They have not been able to travel for the better part of this year and parts of last year. They're getting up there in years, and things happen. And the fact they're trying is outstanding. And we'll try to keep our streams to a minimum while they're here. Like I say, there may be a day or two we can't stream, but we'll come back and make it up for you, folks. Don't worry. But thank you so much, there, Kuladez, for the subscription and being a part of Flying with taking it to that next level. Even if you're just doing it so you don't get commercials, I, on the other hand, appreciate you doing the subscription. So, thank you. And folks, the music you hear in the background, hopefully loud enough that you can hear it. That's was found via Pretzel Rocks, which is non-copyrighted material. And then I took that material, that music that was over there was out there, and I brought it over to Spotify. So what you're hearing is Electron Omaya Song's Energy, and great song. But most of the time you'll hear Approaching Nirvana. I just love that little bit of an epic sound to it. Like an epic movie. We tried epic movie trailers, and everyone just screamed at me. No, you're not allowed. No. So we're no longer playing that. Even though it said not copyrighted. So came close maybe to strikes. I didn't want that. But it is all not copyrighted and material. And like I said, some really good music out there that way. So again, hope you all had a great weekend. Feel free, share if interesting things occurred over the weekend for you. Share in the chat room. Love to hear you. Mine was with a great little granddaughter, Lily, and we just had a good time over the last couple of days. All right, folks. I'm going to give it about 30 seconds here. And we're going to get into the arrival brief here. It's not very complicated at all. We kind of did a lot of it in pre-brief, but we're going to go ahead just so anyone new tuning in can see what we're getting ready to fly. Again, welcome in. This is Flying with Mike. I fly X-Plane, X-Plane 12 to be specific. We're flying tonight for Simulated Air Force from Joint Base Andrews to Scott Air Force Base outside St. Louis, Missouri. Flying in probably one of the, if not best, 737-800s in the flight sim world from ZIBO. Phenomenal, always up. I mean, he's constantly keeping it up to date. There'll be a little tweak here, a little tweak there that just makes it even that much better. And folks, to top it all off, I'm going to give you all a second to grab something so you don't hurt yourself. It's free. And for those that didn't grab something and fell, I warned you, it is free. Doesn't break the bank at all. Just a phenomenal software that he's put together off the 737-800 that comes with X-Plane 12. So, hope you enjoy. All right, so they're all out of the break. Welcome back, everyone, followers and lurkers and those popping in, popping out. Welcome aboard. Hope you enjoy. Real quick, we're going to walk through the arrival into Scott Air Force Base. For that, we'll use charts. We still have the chart up for departing out of good old Joint Base Andrews. And if you've heard the term and going, well, wait a minute, that sounds familiar. Washington, D.C., home to Air Force One. That was probably those that didn't hold on to something and fell, getting back up and still dizzy from hearing something was free in the flight sim world. All right, so we just came off Charleston, West Virginia, headed for now Louisville. All right, so for the arrival, we're going to come in on the Centralia 2 arrival. Basically, we cross Centralia. It's a fifth. Well, first off, let's get the quick information up here. It's an RNAV arrival for all runways at Scott Air Force Base. Some of these stars are runway specific, so that's why I put that out there. Now we're going to 32 left. So basically, folks, off Centralia, we're going to fly 267 to Hovitz, 284 to Eichel. Now, Eichel, we're expected to be at 7,000 feet. I'm going to go ahead and make sure we're set up for that. Dut me, and then down to the localizer for 32 left. This is a joint, it's a shared use airfield. Scott Air Force Base is on the west side. Mid-America Airport, which Allegiant flies into from many points in Florida, plus Vegas and South Carolina. Oh, and they now this week are picking up Knoxville. So, but anyway, that's on the east side, the longer runway. So from Dutmy, like I said, 225 down to the localizer for 32 left. Okay, real quick look up here because we'll have to set some. Localizers 109.9, 319 for the final approach course. Belleville, BLville. Love how they do some of these. 2,400 feet, which is actually 1,900 feet above the ground. When it's in brackets, folks, that's above ground level. Bold is above sea level. Decision altitudes here and heights. 639 feet MSL. Again, it's in the bold, and in the bracket, 200 feet. Now, interesting here, folks, minimums are 200 feet, and we'll get the visibility here in a moment, but that is off METARs, and they're above the ground. So if you see a METAR that says broken or overcast 002, you're legal to land, but you've got a good shot at doing a missed approach. So you may want to be getting your missed approach clearance, just in case. Anyway, continuing on, it's 459 feet above the sea level, and if you've been reading, you know the missed approach procedure already, which is basically back to Tilby, where we'll do a hold. Tilby's back here. Okay, real quick, we'll come in somewhere around in here, hit the localizer, and come in. 109.9 for IBLV, 319 for the heading, and we'll be at or up. Oh, we'll come in at 2,400 feet. Minimums, as I was getting into, it's 200 feet on your METARs and a half-mile of visibility. So long as it meets these two requirements, you're legal to come in. They have an RVR of 18 or higher because we have the flight director. That's the gauge within a gauge here. We have autopilot, reading item number 1, or a HUD. I'm not sure if we have the HUD. Let me check. And no, we do not have that lovely piece. So, but we have the other two, so we can drop to 18. No RVRs are being reported, so folks, we're clear 10 miles visibility. We are going to double check that here in just a second. Okay, and just so you know, we'll be landing on this runway, 8,000 feet long, and we'll get off most likely at the end of the runway, but you never know. We might make the brakes may get us by echo. We'll see. I'm notorious for floating, so. All right, now one last thing. Let's see here how our approach is going to. Sorry. Get our wind 280, diagonal 3, and currently bit chilly, 20 degrees. Oh wait, that's Celsius. All right, and for the altimeter setting, 299. Flaps 30. Any ice off will be on brakes 3. No credit, and our landing altitude or plan is 119.5. Okay, so our planned approach speed is 139. We'll be touching down hopefully around 134. Auto brakes 1, not recommended. Auto brakes 2 can get us there, and braking at 3. Granted, it's in meters, 1,600. It looks like about 3/4 of the way down the runway. So we'll see how this all transpires. Okay, coming up, like I said, next will be Louisville. All right, folks, let's get back to some music, and that'll wrap us up there. We'll get in closer to descent. We'll get a better look at the weather and see what we've got truly coming at us. Alright folks, we're back with you. We're getting close to top of descent. You can see it on the nav display. Just under 50 miles. As we cruise across part of the United States, at least from Washington, D.C., Joint Base Andrews, into the Midwest here, just outside St. Louis, Scott Air Force Base. So, hope you all enjoyed. Yeah, we got a little bit more to go, looking like about 24 minutes or so. It's going to take a little bit to get down from 40,000 feet. So just sit back, relax, enjoy, folks, and we'll be on the approach to Scott Air Force Base here shortly. Just a quick recap, folks. We'll be coming in on the Centralia 2 arrival. So Eichel, 7,000 feet. And hopefully we're programmed in. I'm a little nervous now, so hang on a second. I'm going to do a quick computation. So approximately 110 miles. Should be able to make it. Let's see. Oh, they're gonna make me do this the old-fashioned way. 56, that's 97. Yep, we should make it. Alright, I just did a quick run of the math right here, folks, and got about 110 miles it'll take us to come down if we get straight. And since we don't have ATC, pretty much that's how we're going to come down, straight. All right. As promised, let's get the weather here. All right, so 10 miles clear. This is 355. Hang on a second. So 30 minutes old. 2991. Clear skies, 10 miles. And it's now 19 degrees, folks. You might want to add a scarf to your winter clothing coming in here. Oh, wait, that's Celsius, folks. Sorry, I get it confused. Okay, 28 miles. All right, for those new to 737s, I don't care what sim you're flying on for this, folks. Real quick, couple of ways to make this aircraft descend. Now, obviously, if controllers tell you descend to such and such altitude, set the altitude first here. Then, depending how your FMC is, now you may have a VNAV. I'd have to show it. I'll show it to you here real quick. Well, actually, no, because we're in too tight. So, but if you have VNAV, click it, then next page till you get to descent. When you get to descent, now you see the descend now. To change your transition level for those of you operating anywhere but North America, this is the page you do it on. Let's get our descent winds. Or anytime they tell you to descend, you could hit altitude intervene or level change VNAV. So long as you're set here, it'll start down. We'll just do altitude intervene. There's your descent. A Q here. And over here you have what looks like a glide slope going up and down, letting you know where you are in that cone for what the aircraft computed as the best descent angle. And it will take into effect along the way, folks, any constraints you may have, like say I wanted to set it to 0. Hypothetically, with me putting the 7,000 foot mark in at Eichel, it would hold up. So it's supposed to. It's a computer made by people, so sometimes they don't, and it could be other factors causing it. One thing I do like about Boeing displays is the arc. Now, we're not far enough out, but an arc will show up, letting you get an idea, am I going to make it to Eichel at 7,000? Not seeing it right now. So, but we will here shortly. And by seeing this green dot, that's pretty much telling me Centralia is not far off. That's the slowdown point. And since there's been no weather, we haven't gotten to see that on here as well. It's actually in colors now. So, nice new features that have come out with X-Plane. Instead of the greens, unless I've just not been anywhere where it's been severe, it's nice to see the yellows and reds. Believe me, if you saw the stream Monday when we flew into Mozambique, it was pretty much nothing but red. Fun arrival though, folks. Very well done, X-Plane. All right, I'm going to go ahead, set for brakes 3. But again, hope you all had a great weekend. I know I did. and hope you're ready. Not meaning to be the downer here, but hope you're ready for the start of the work week tomorrow morning, or in some cases in a couple of hours. But anyway, folks, welcome. Flying with Mike here, and we'll be that looks like we're gonna make it. There's that green arc I was talking about. So we'll get to Eichel, go up here to Dutmai. Now it's set up as a vector for Victor to take care of, and so we'll turn to 225, head down to the localizer, grab it at 2,400 feet, come on in on the 3-2 left ILS. The neat thing about where I live in relation to Scott Air Force Base, folks, they are quite literally right over my head. They'll fly in, not all hours of the day and night, but quite a bit, and it's pretty cool. I see C-17s, C-130s. Haven't had a C-5 as of yet. KC-10, KC-46s come in, the Poseidons, the P-8s. I mean, all types of aircraft. It's really fun. And I was just talking with Hawker for the last, seems like a month. Could have been a lot less, I'm sure. They had an air show over in west side of St. Louis over the weekend, and the F-15 that performed there was practicing out at Scott Air Force Base. So kind of neat to be able to watch it for free and not have to pay anything for admission to see it. Probably got a better show here than there. But it was cool. And but again, those are things I get to see. And as I've mentioned, Mid-America Airport, mile to my west or east, sorry, and that's where Allegiant and many of the airlines come in on. So kind of neat to be able to see that, folks. And of course, when the transiting F-18s or name your fighter group, oh my gosh, it can be very noisy too. Even though we're 3 to 5 miles away, oh, that sound. Sound of freedom echoes. Well, welcome in, everyone. Glad you're here. We're about, I'd say from here, about 20 minutes from wrapping things up, getting hopefully a good landing out of this. And again, we're flying for Simulated Air Force, folks. It's a VATSIM Special Operations Group. I haven't seen the information. Of course, it'll probably come right up after I type it in. But check them out first, folks. There are hoops to jump through because of that designation. What it allows when you put that in your remarks that you're with Sim Air Force or one of the virtual special operations outfits, allows you to fly where the military controls the separation of aircraft. So you could perform air refueling. You could, in the MOAs and restricted areas, do some dogfighting. Things have gotten a lot better over the years in both sims. Don't look for this to be a dogging of one or the other. It's gotten a lot better where we're not miles apart. We're pretty much in on each other. So check them out. Like I said, you'll have hoops to jump through to be to acclimate to, not going up to shoot down a tub, but to go up and operate as a simulated military pilot. Oh, and by the way, they do operate on DCS, Digital Command Sim, and that does not have to be on VATSIM. All other flights do need to transpire on VATSIM. Geez, I wonder why. VATSIM Special Operations Group. Think somewhere in there, VATSIMs, you gotta. So, again, check them out, folks. All right, we're into our descent now. We're into the transition level. Double check our information here. (2991). All right, let's get the generals into their seats. As we continue our descent to 7,000. Here we are, transition level. All right, I need to set minimums lower. Not anticipating troubles seeing the runway. My troubles is trying to land respectably. All right, so crossing Centralia, I believe this is Centralia's airport, so right off the nose, I'm going to go ahead and start narrowing things down. Okay, so now you can see the arrival. There's Centralia, Holtz, Eckel, and then Dutmai. And Dutmai is where we make that turn to 225 to then intercept. So, my blabbing along has forgotten to think about the ILS. 109.9er. Alright folks, a little different radio here. What you would need to do to set an ILS frequency is go to ILS using the mode, set your frequency, then activate it. This one needs to stay there. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get our CTAF even though I know it. Yep, 120.825. All right, we're coming up on 10,000 feet. Let's get those exterior lights on. And I'm going to go ahead, take over the speed. the same time, engage the speed brakes. Okay, 250, so that's good. All right, let's see if I can find the airport already. That is one benefit of flying at night, folks. The airports come out a lot easier to find. I'm going to go ahead and mute the music right now. Possibility right there. All right, let's possibility of it right there, but I'm not 100% sure. And like I said, wasn't sure because obviously it's going to be wait a minute, just saw flash right there. It is the flashing light here. You white and should be two whites and a green. I don't think any of the sims simulate that. All right, and Eichel.
1,000 to go.
Then I'm going to continue on down to 20. Okay. All right, folks, we're descending now for the ILS. IBLV 19. All right, let's go ahead, start slowing it down. Okay, localizer, we're gonna give it a little bit longer. I don't like that it's on the wrong. Let me make sure I've got the right frequency in. 109.9. Hey, good.
Thousand to go.
All right, folks, about to take over the plane here. Okay. All right, let's take over the autopilot. Let's see. Okay, we got a calm wind, so this should be pretty good. Yep. And Scott Air Force Base traffic, some Air Force 18, 3 mile final, 3-2 left.
Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide
I hate
slow.
when it says that, and I'm seeing it fine.
Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide slow.
Now we're starting
Glide
to.
slow. Glide slow. Glide slow.
800. Approaching minimums.
Landing. Stable.
200 minimum. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
knots.
And we'll be off at Echo. Welcome to Scott Air Force Base. Alright, we're just taxiing to park, folks. Just getting all our checks in. Alright, folks, we're in the blocks. Get the right. Kill the engines. Alright, we're in the blocks. Hope you enjoyed the little run from Andrews over to Mid-America. Doesn't appear anyone put a guess in for the landing rate. Looks like 255 feet a minute sim toolkit recorded. Put us outside here. As we deplane. Deplane! Oh, wrong type. Alright, let's see what Sim Air Force got us at. I don't like, I wish they could get up to the next latest, greatest one. Alright, we are looking at 373 feet a minute, satisfactory in their books. Alright, let's go ahead and bring in Sim Toolkit. Why don't we? And what I use Sim Tool, actually, just going to do a quick, I'm pretty sure nobody was around. Yep, nobody's in the area. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and disconnect. Get rid of that as well. Let's bring up Sim Toolkit here. Take a look at our landing rate. And see if there's anything we can glean on it, other than the fact we did fly through the localizer and came back. That 255, 134 knots, folks, a little fast. That's probably where a little of the roughness came in. So let's complete the flight. All right, details, 2 hour, 2 minute flight, 600 miles, 41, call it 4,200 kilograms of fuel, 1.7 Gs, minus 255 feet a minute, 134 knots. All right, so there's the reasoning behind a lot of it. However, I am liking the graphics to this, folks. We were 1,240 feet down the runway. Folks, that's just about where you want to be. Right there is where you're aiming for visually. There's your pappies. I believe it's either here or here is the ILS. So it's all geared, putting you on these big marks. In the daytime, boy, they stand out like you couldn't believe. Even at night, they stand out for you to aim at. That's your aiming point on the runway. So I am very pleased with metrics here. Over on the other side, we had an 8,006-foot runway. That 5 feet off the center line, no match. It's 150 feet wide. That means 75 feet either side. 134 knots. We already know there's our pitch. Had a slight tip in the wings. Nothing major, folks. This beautiful landing. So I hope y'all enjoyed. Hope y'all enjoyed the flight. Not often we come on at this hour of the night, but I'm glad to see you all out there. And I truly hope you all have a great day. And we'll be back at it tomorrow, sometime after 1 o'clock Central Time, p.m. All depends how my day goes. There's a lot going on in the morning, but who knows what's in store. So we'll see you tomorrow. We'll be in the classic 747, flying for Pan Am Virtual. Hope you all enjoy. God bless y'all. Thank you for coming out, and we'll see you tomorrow. Well, that was not on the playbook for it to crash the desktop, but it did. So, folks, we'll send the report off, and hope you all, again, have a great day. Beautiful landing in Mid-America at midnight, and look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. God bless.